Shush. Okay. Shush.
Now,
Previously recorded.
not
in front of a live studio audience.
Double
HBC.
News.
Hello everybody, and welcome to a special week of Double HBC News. Why is it so special, you must ask?
Because it's week 3 of Double HBC News, of course.
That's right, Emmy. Sports went really well last week, don't you think?
Well, it definitely was a great start for the season, Dante.
Indeed it was. The Lady Hawks volleyball team started their season in Shickley at the BDS tournament last Thursday and went 1-1, losing in 2 sets to BDS, but turning around and winning in 3 against Exeter Milligan. Now we go to Alex, who is talking with a senior about their thoughts on the games.
Thank you, Dante. I'm here with Haley Friesen talking about the BDS and Exeter Milligan games. Haley, how did you think the game went last week?
In general, I thought the games went fairly well. During the BDS game, we were a little nervous, but during the Exeter game, we settled down a little bit more and communicated fairly well.
What are some things that you think went well?
We had good teamwork, and we just worked together very, very well, and our communication.
Do you feel that you could improve on anything?
We can definitely improve on our serving and probably where we tip, because our tipping is to the team players, and we want them to kill.
What are some of the goals that you have set for the season?
Our goals are to have better communication and work together as a team and to get all the way to state.
Nice. Back to you, Dante and Emmy.
Thank you, Alex. The football team traveled to Johnsonburg and lost a tough one after suffering multiple injuries.
Let's head to Luxon, who is talking with a senior about how they feel their game went and their thoughts on the rest of the season. Luxon?
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Jerome Bryant, and we're going to ask him a few questions about how the season's going so far. Jerome, how did your game go last week?
Well, it didn't turn out how we liked it. We got blown out 60-0, but we have this week.
That's a shame. Well, hopefully you do better this week. What were the good things about the game last week? What did you do well?
We were talking as a team. We were actually moving the ball somewhat, and for a young team like we are, we can still improve and take the right step towards it.
Well, best of luck with that. What kind of improvements do you think you could make with the team?
Just get experience, practice a little harder, bring the intensity, and, just hit hard.
All right. And lastly, what are your goals for the season?
Our goal for this season, at least win one game, since we haven't had a winning season or won a game for the past few years.
All right. Well, hopefully that works out for you.
Okay.
That's all. Back to you.
Thanks, Lexon. I'm very excited to see what the rest of the fall season has in store for the Hawks.
That makes 2 of us. Also last week, Mrs. Ferris and the Hampton High School Marching Band went to the State Fair to march. Let's go to Haley, who was with Mrs. Ferris, to see how that went last Friday. Haley?
Thank you, Dante and Emmy. Mrs. Ferris, what have you been doing to prepare for the performance?
Well, we spent a lot of time this year inside playing through the songs. We have a few new songs this year, so we did a lot in there. Outside, we just worked on our basic fundamentals. We're trying to change a few things this year. We're going with more of a glide step, so that's been kind of a challenge, getting everybody to put their heel down and point their toes.
How did the band do last Friday?
I felt like we did okay. This is just kind of our get our feet wet type of thing, and so I was really pleased with how we did. We sounded good.
Awesome. Did you do or learn anything interesting at the State Fair?
I went 3 times, and the day that the band went, I really didn't go do anything tremendous, but I definitely would recommend the Pirate Swashbucklers show. That was good.
Did you eat any interesting food while you were there?
I really didn't do anything too fantastic. I had one of those Italian grinders, and that was it.
Right, sounds great. Thank you, Miss Ferris. Back to you, Dante and Emmy.
Thanks, Haley. It sounds like the State Fair was a rip-roaring good time.
Yes, it does. Now, let's go to Tama and Taylor's Pursuit for Talent.
A new segment where Tamer and Taylor showcase Hampton students' hidden talents.
that was certainly interesting.
That it was, Dante. That it was. Well, that's all we have for this week.
Join us next week for another episode of HHBC News.
Thank you for watching and see you next week.